North Korea has officially entered the war in Ukraine, dramatically altering the geopolitical landscape of the conflict and further cementing a burgeoning alliance with Russia. Following a high-stake meeting between Russian Minister of Defense and Kim Jong Un, North Korea has pledged unconditional support for Russia, vowing to remain committed until a total victory is achieved. This declaration signifies a substantial escalation from Pyongyang's previous involvement, which was limited to deploying troops to the Kursk region solely on Russian soil to repel Ukrainian counter-invasions. Now, North Korean troops are slated to fight directly alongside Russian forces on Ukrainian territory by the end of the year, marking a significant shift in their operational mandate. This direct military engagement will include immediate supply of troops, munitions, and equipment to the front lines, providing a considerable boost to Russia's war effort. This development comes at a particularly precarious time for Ukraine, especially in the wake of recent spiderweb attacks on Russian Air Force bases, which have exacerbated tensions. Reports indicate that Ukrainian leadership failed to inform the United States about these attacks, further complicating international relations and potentially isolating Kyiv, as it now faces not one but two additional nations actively fighting against it. President Putin, in a recent address, unequivocally stated that these attacks on the Russian homelands constitute a direct act of war and promise a robust response, pointedly warning President Trump to be prepared for Russian retaliation. Putin's address yesterday further solidified Russia's stance, declaring that peace is no longer an option and that only a total Russian victory will be the outcome. The decision by North Korea to directly intervene in the conflict on Ukrainian soil represents a calculated move to deepen its strategic alignment with Russia, likely seeking economic, technological, and military benefits in return. This commitment goes far beyond previous level of support, transforming Pyongyang into an active participant in a major European conflict. The influx of North Korean troops, while potentially lacking the advanced training of Western forces, could provide Russia with a significant numerical advantage, particularly in grueling ground offensive. Furthermore, the supply of munitions and equipment from North Korea, even if older models, can help alleviate some of the logistical pressure on Russia's military-industrial complex, which has been stretched by the prolonged conflict and international sanctions. This expanded North Korean role is a clear message to the international community, particularly the United States and its allies, that the conflict in Ukraine is increasingly drawing in non-European powers and evolving into a broader proxy confrontation. The willingness of Kim Jong Un to commit forces directly to a foreign war, despite North Korea's own domestic challenges and international isolation, underscore the strategic importance of this alliance for both Moscow and Pyongyang. The implications for regional stability in both Eastern Europe and the Indo-Pacifics are profound, as this partnership could embolden North Korea to act more aggressively in its own neighborhood, reliant on Russian diplomatic and military backing. The timing of North Korea's direct entry immediately following what Russia has termed spiderweb attacks on its Air Force base adds another layer of complexity and danger to the conflict. These attacks, reportedly conducted without prior consultation with the United States, have evidently angered Moscow and provide a pretext for further escalation. The implication that Ukraine acted unilaterally in these strikes could strain its relationship with key Western allies, who have consistently emphasized the importance of coordinated action and de-escalation. President Putin's direct warning to President Trump indicate a belief in Moscow that the United States holds significant sway over Ukrainian action and perhaps a desire to directly engage with Washington on the terms of this escalating conflict. The rhetoric from the Kremlin has become increasingly uncompromising, with a declaration that peace is no longer an option, signaling a firm commitment to a military solution and a rejection of any negotiated settlement that does not result in a total Russian victory. This hardening of Russia's stance, reinforced by the direct military support from North Korea, suggests that the conflict is entering an even more destructive and protracted phase. The international community, already grappling with the implications of NATO members' direct aerial involvement, now faces the added challenges of managing the consequences of Iraq state's full military commitment to Russia's war effort. The broader geopolitical ramifications of North Korea's entry are extensive. It solidifies an emerging anti-Western axis involving Russia, North Korea, and potentially other nations, challenging the existing international order and potentially leading to increased military cooperation and intelligence sharing among these states. For Ukraine, the prospect of facing not only Russia but also the combined forces and resources of North Korea presents an overwhelming challenge, further complicating its defense efforts and increasing the human and material costs of the war. The involvement of North Korean troops on Ukrainian soil could also lead to new concerns regarding human rights abuse and the potential for the use of prohibited weapons, given Pyongyang's track record. Moreover, this alliance could allow North Korea to gain valuable combat experience for its own military, as well as access to Russian military technologies and expertise that could further enhance its weapon program. President Trump's administration will face immediate pressure to formulate a robust response to this significant shift, balancing the need to support Ukraine with the imperative of preventing a broader global conflict. The integration of North Korean forces into the Ukraine conflict represents a dangerous and unpredictable turn with the potential to prolong the war, increase its brutality, and reshape the geopolitical alignment of the 21st century. If you have made it this far, congratulations. You have unlocked the truth. I want to ask you a question. As North Korea commit troops, munitions, and equipments to fight alongside Russia on Ukraine soil, how significantly do you think this direct intervention will alter the dynamics of the war, both militarily and geopolitically? Join the debate and share your analysis in the comment. Like the video, and most importantly, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.